Then your child moves to 13, and you will see a distinct difference right away. That child will now talk back at you, engage you, fight you, refuse your command. They are changing. They are becoming a person of intellect, and they will not readily just accept everything you say. And so you have got to change your way you deal with them. You're now in a role of a coach. You can't be bossing them around again. You now have to be coaching them, helping them to understand the physical changes that their bodies are going through. Help them to identify, because they're looking for identity now. Who am I? What am I supposed to be? What am I supposed to become? And so it is very difficult for the Muslim child, because his parents wants him to be Pakistani and Guyanese. America wants him to be American. The Imam wants him to be Muslim, and the child wants to be whatever they want to be. And so you have all of these things coming at them. And so they have an issue of identity and deciding who they are and what they're supposed to be comfortable with. Help them with that. Help them to be good decision makers by giving them the freedom to make decisions. And so all of this is in the role of coaching. The next one is, you should have more, instead of lecturing and just passing orders, you should have more discussion. When they bring their problems to you, discuss it with them. Get their opinion. Let them become good, able to articulate their problems, to be able to make decisions about them. And let them know you will be there always. You will always be there for them. Don't just preach and lecture and harass them, but you've got to also let your children know, because this is the time when they cross those boundaries that you have set. Before, from 0 to 12, they follow all your rules. As soon as 13 to 17 reach, they're bucking your rules. They don't respect them. They will be tempted to go past them. You have to let them know these are the red lines, and there are consequences that you have set, that if you go past this, there will be consequences. So you let them know these are what mom and dad will not tolerate. And so it must be very clear to them. And once again, let them know that it's okay to make mistakes. That they will mess up sometimes, and it's fine. It's fine to make mistakes. The next slide. And that you will always, be a safe space for them. Let them know. This is the one. Sorry, this is the last one I want to mention before, at 13 to 17, is that to let them know that it's okay to make mistakes and that you will be there for them. Now, when they reach 18 and over, generally in this society, parents kick their children out of their home at 18. And they basically said, hey, I have done my duty to you. Bye. Go out, find a job, and go and make it on your own. This is the general socialization that happens in America. It doesn't happen with the Muslim children or the people coming from different cultures. So our children are in our homes not only at 18, at 19, at 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, sometimes even at 30, and they're still home. But the role here has to be that of a friend and a confidant. First of all, you've got to find a way to convince your child that that it is okay for them to confide in you. And if you don't have that relationship, then your child will go to every other place and confide with. That's why they join gangs and all of that, because they don't trust their parents because of how we deal with them. We've got to be able to develop that relationship where they see you as a confidential source to come and talk about their intimate problems, and that you wouldn't judge them and harass them, even though you're their parent, that you will listen to them and help them navigate those things and to give them good advice. They generally, when you reach 18, there are 4 things in which parents and children get big war over. Number 1 is religion, because parents always, for the very beginning, they are always concerned about the religion of their children. Is their children being socialized to become good Muslims? Are they going on? And then it is not an easy thing to raise a child in America and to make them turn out to be a fairly conscious Muslim. It is an incredible challenge. So parents get conflict with their children. The second thing that they get conflict with their children is marriage. Uh, Parents always have a particular perspective in terms of who they would like their child to marry. And a lot of time it's influenced by culture and not by Islamic standards. And so a child might want to marry a Muslim from a different culture, a different race, and the parent gets really upset because the cultural pressure and the cultural norms of their uh, community that they grew up in. Take, for example, Guyanese or Pakistani or Bangladesh community. There are certain social norms and expectations of who your children are supposed to be marrying. And so when that doesn't happen, and the child comes out of the blue and said, I want to marry somebody else, it creates a lot of conflict. Career. A lot of parents want there's a kind of a status that to say my son is a doctor, my daughter is a lawyer, and so on. And so parents, they get to boast about their children. And when you are not doing a career that they really are approving, it creates a lot of conflict. And then, of course, the cultural differences. Your child grew up in America, you grew up in some other country, and you're going to have culture clash. And it's going to be huge. And so you're going to force your children will be forced to decide, what am I going to do? Because all of these cultures I'm part of, and I have to be able to. And so parents find it difficult to navigate these things, and they always have conflict with their children at this age in relation to these things. Now, what we have to do is to help our 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds understand that we want them to make decisions, but we also want them to accept the consequences of their decisions. So we will advise them about a particular path. They say, no, I'm going in another direction. Then when they go in the other direction and they get trouble, they come back to you. You have to be able to say, hey, you have to be able to take the consequences. I told you don't drive the car. You said because you don't have a driver's license, you decide, no, I'm going to drive the car. I crashed the car. And then you come now and you expect mom and dad to bail you out. No, you've got to bear the consequences. So you will have to now pay some of the expenses to fix the car because it was your decision. You will have to pay the ticket. You will have to do some of the things because that's the way they will learn to understand that the world, they are cause and effects. And when you do something and it's not a good decision, there are consequences that will follow that you have to take responsibility for. Not that mom and dad help you out every moment. Mom and dad will always be there. When you can't do it, they will come in at the time when it's necessary. But you have to teach your children to be there to take care of the consequences of their actions. And in terms of helping them, help them when they ask. Don't just help them like that. Let them be independent. Let them go out and fend for themselves and learn how to do that. And let them know when they can't make it, they can ask you. But you don't go out handing them help without their asking for it. Give them a chance to be able to mature and to solve their problems and go out and deal with the world. So those are some basic recommendations that we want to make.